Hello, welcome pen friends. This is part 4 of my fountain pen inventory from March 2020, and I promise you this is the last video having to do with the pens. And I did get a surprise because last night I found 13 more that I had squirreled away in a cigar box to be reviewed, to be tested and reviewed, and this was about when the kitten came. So my total number of pens ended up being 132. But I thought I'd just run through them all real quick and we'll just chat as I go, because this is part 4, like I said. So the first one is a Pilot Parallel with the green cap, and it is a 3.8 millimeter. So that is going to be a lot of fun. I have not tried this yet. Actually, my friend sent it to me so I'd have a cover for my serendipity, but before I did that, I wanted to try the pen because I've never had one before. So this is showing me lots of things to do and lots of ways to enjoy the hobby more without going further than what I have here, that's for sure. Now, this other one is a Pilot Plumix, also sent to me by the same pen friend, and this one I have had inked up. It's got a little almost like a calligraphy nib, and it's it says medium. It looks like a 1.1 to me, but I think it's a little closer to a calligraphy nib. I'm not sure. I haven't even studied these, but I've written with it once and I liked it very much. So that's that. Now the next two are two Pilot Metropolitans, the retro pop art purple and the pop art turquoise. So this was very early on in my fountain pen journey, and this one has a medium nib, I think. Yeah, the purple one has the medium nib and the other one has a fine nib, and at first these were way too fine for me. Oh, I still have this one inked up, that's right. Yeah, okay, no wonder I've got a little splashing of black ink on there. I know this, but I pulled them out of my case the other day. I do like this fine nib with the Noodler's Heart of Darkness. It's really, really nice for journaling. Just quick notes and anything else I want to do because of the extra fine, well, it's a fine nib, but to me it writes extra fine because it's a Japanese nib. So, and I don't write with these as much as I used to, but that fine one does come out quite a bit more now that I really appreciate having sometimes a really fine nib. So these are the Kaweco Perkeos, and this one, long story short, I somehow hurt the nib that came on it. So I have a Moonman number 5 nib on here in fine. So that worked out really good because I don't know how to fix the other nib. It seems like the tines are not only misaligned, but maybe sprung. And so it could be just, you know, this had to be replaced. Anyway, so now I have one of the Perkeos. This one is the old Cambray, I think, with a fine nib. And then this all black one came with a medium nib, a black medium nib. So it's kind of nice to have both. I don't know why I had originally ordered 2 mediums. I kind of did the same thing with this pen. This is the Diplomat Magnum. I love these pens. They're super smooth nibs. And this is the gray one with a medium nib. Super nice writer. I have mostly had a gray ink in this, and I love it. It doesn't matter which gray ink I put in. It writes really good. It's got a nice wet medium nib. And then the next one is the Diplomat Magnum in the Prismatic purple, or it's also labeled John Doe, because it's kind of purple and it's kind of blue. If you kind of turn it, you get different things depending on how the light strikes it, but this has a broad nib, and it's a super smooth, really nice broad nib. These are ultra lightweight pens too, they have converters in them. Okay, and then I got the red one in a medium nib. I have had trouble in terms of what red ink I'm going to settle on for this. I think I ended up, Red Dragon was the best one as far as flow so far. So we'll just have to keep experimenting with that. But they have the nice grip that there isn't much of a suggestion there. You know, it's got a little bit of a contour, but it's not as drastic as a Lamy, so. Okay, and then next is a little gift from a pen friend. It's a Miffy's Garden, little kind of a pocket pen with a hooded nib on it. And I think it has a converter too, which makes it really neat because you don't, yeah, you can use the converter and use any ink. Don't have to worry about cartridges with that one. Okay. And then next is a newcomer. The, I wanted to say Pilot, but no, the Platinum Prefounte. I hope I'm saying that right. I know I'm not. It doesn't sound right. Which it's like the Platinum Preppy, only I inked this up last night. And I started writing with this. It has a medium nib, and it was just so smooth. I don't remember the Platinum Preppy medium being that smooth, but it just could be some kind of a thing. You know, it's a new pen, and oh, it's so smooth, but it's writing really good. I've just got a platinum blue cartridge in it. So more to come with that one because that's new to me. And then this one here is a Hero. Let's see what the number is. 5028. It was a viewer suggestion, and I got it, and it has 3 different nib units. This is the 1.1 that's in it. So that makes it real versatile, and it came with a, oh no, I thought it came with a converter. Maybe it did. Maybe I have it off, but I can't remember now. It's been so long. I know I have the other 2 nib units. It was very inexpensive. I got it on eBay at the suggestion of a viewer, and I can't wait to explore that one more. Okay, this goes way, way back. This is a Lingmo Lorelei, and I just love this acrylic. It's gorgeous. This was watching Chris Rapp 52's channel. This was a result. This is what happens when you watch his channel sometimes. But it's gorgeous, and it's got a fine nib. And I remember writing with this with a Diamine Strawberry or Wild Strawberry, and oh, it was pretty. It was just a super match for this. And then it's got a little kind of weird converter on it, but it works, you know. I ordered it on eBay, but it came out of California, I think, and it was kind of medium priced for the Chinese pens. It wasn't cheap. I'm wanting to say maybe $10 or $13. I can't remember. Okay, next is the older Schaefer that I think somebody told me what it was, but now I don't remember. It's a real thin pen that we found in our home, probably something my mother-in-law had, and we found it with a dried up cartridge, and we cleaned it up, and I wrote with it, and it's just a super, super good writer. It looks like it's even been sort of used pretty heavy, or maybe that's just the way it looks here on the, but even if it has been, you know, used heavily or whatever, it writes really well. What I had in here was Black Swan and Australian Roses. That's such a flowy ink, and it just looks really good coming out of this nib. And it was just a find, you know, it was here in the house. Manuel realized I was super into fountain pens, and he said, look what I found. So next is the little Travelers Company brass fountain pen. Let's see what it says on there. Well, if I could get it just right. Travelers Company, made in Japan. And it opens up, and then it just posts like this. And it's super comfortable and nice. And it's such a compact size when it's put together, when it's capped. This has a fine nib on it, and I have a Kaweco Midnight Blue cartridge in it. So this was attached to my gratitude journal. It's in that Lockby pocket journal right now. So that's why it missed yesterday. Too bad, because I did almost all of my pocket pens, and these 2 missed out in the glamour shot and in the video. So, and then this was a gift from, both of these were gifts from different pen friends. And this one here, let's see, Lanbatu 3009. I can never remember. It says space on it, so I always want to call it a space pen, but it is that Lanbatu, and it's much the same as the other one. It posts like this, and then it's got that little hooded nib. Let's see if you can see that. This one has given me a little bit of trouble, but I'm really hopeful that I can beat that trouble or whatever. It's got the little filling mechanism that's like a bladder, and it seems like either I can't get enough ink into it at a time, or I use it up really fast or something, because it writes really, really good for a little while, and then it doesn't. But that looks like a kind of a small place for ink, and I'm just getting started, so with it, and I'm gonna try it again, and oh, I want to love it because it's super size, nice size, and it's got that nice little nib. I just wish that it took maybe a cartridge even. Did I mention that this takes a cartridge, a standard international cartridge? It's that makes it kind of convenient when you're talking pocket pen like that, so that you don't have to deal with some weird filling mechanism. But still, that's really neat to explore, and it writes really good when it does, when it's got ink in it. That sounded strange. Okay, so going over to the next page here. These are two Wingsung 3001s. This one was a gift, and not only was it a gift, but the nib was already tuned by the person who sent it, and it writes fantastic. It's a better job than I did on the one I have. So that is just beautiful, and I'm so appreciative. This is one that I had and ordered and everything, and oh boy, that's stained. Huh. Wow, what you see when you're going through everything, that needs to be put in some pen flush and kind of cleaned up more. Okay, so those two were the 3001s, and then I've got 4 Wingsung 3008s. These are my favorite of the Chinese piston fillers because I just have had really good luck. I know I've been lucky. Right now, I don't have Lamy nibs on these. They have their Wingsung nibs back on them because my Lamy nibs are in use on other, on Lamys right now. But I do play musical nibs and get... I like the ones that come on it, but I feel the Lamy nibs are more stable and they just write better for me, But these have excellent flow, and they don't write as dry even as the Lamys, so it's an interesting experience. Any of you that have had it, you know what I mean. If you've had the experience and you haven't had leaking, some people have had issues. So I'm not gonna lie to you that there's some variety. And I'm just lucky I haven't experienced it yet. So I have 2 of the solid clear, although I've stained this one pretty good with all my purple. But that's what's nice about a pen that's under $4. You can put any ink in it and not, worry. And then I got the blue one and the pink one. Okay, so next is a pen that a pen friend sent to me. And I've been playing with this one, so it's all inked up. It says on it, Yiren. I'm not sure if I can I pronounce it correct, but it's Y-I-R-E-N. Okay, so this is an interesting pen. I'm not sure how I feel about it because it does take the Lamy nib. Okay, so do the Wingsungs, so that doesn't seem to bother my conscience. But then it also takes the Lamy cartridge, and I'll tell you, it writes really good. But it's quite... it's not like the Genhao 599s where the clip is different and they went to the trouble of, making it different, but they didn't label it Lamy or anything. It's not like they completely are trying to deceive. They put their own name on it, and it's clearly, a different pen, but it writes really, really good. And I did stick a medium Lamy nib on it, and I was like kind of blown away at how well it writes. And it did have a little rainbow nib on it. Let's see if I can find that and show you real quick. It had a really pretty nib on it with kind of the rainbow colors, which is real pretty, but it's an extra fine and I wasn't getting along with it, so I slid on a Lamy medium, and oh boy, did that ever. That's pretty impressive. Also controversial, and I understand that. Okay, so I'm kind of hurrying because I know there's so many pens here with that total number looming over me. We've already talked about 77, but the remainder are today. So this is the Genhao 889 school pen. I used to have a red one. I think I gave the red one away, and I just saved the demonstrator one. They're super nice little pens with a converter, cartridge converter. But I found the nibs were really hard, and they are not replaceable as far as I know. I mean, I couldn't seem to do it. It has kind of a Pilot Petite 1 style nib on it, but it has a nice cap seal, and it's quite interesting. Really, really neat. Another one that I had to get, hear that, when I watched it on Chris Rapp 52's channel a long time ago. Okay, next are 2 fountain pens from India. Well, this is a Fountain Pen Revolution Jaipur, and it is a piston filler. Now, I love how this pen writes. It has a medium nib on it, and it writes super good. But it has this issue where I end up with a lot of ink in the cap. So that has bothered me. But I am not going to give up on this pen. Not yet. Because I love how it writes. And I like it too. It's interesting. You know, looking. It's different looking than my other piston fillers. But if I flat out had to choose between like this one, the Wingsung 3008, and this one, I'd take the Wingsung because I've had reliability with that pen. I haven't had any cap leaking or anything. But I'm thinking that I might be able to, who knows, I was pretty green and new when I had a lot of those things, so you never know. I might be able to figure it out and stop it from happening. Okay, this other one is another pen from India, and it's the Cambray Desire. Now, I ruined the converter somehow on mine, so I think I'm gonna, I have it, it's still, and maybe I'll see if I can get it. But you can eyedropper this. So that's what I was thinking of, because this is a really good writer too, a really good writer. And it would have a lot of capacity there. And doesn't that kind of look like, it would look so good with this new ink that I love, the Robert Oster Burned Orange. I think it would. Trying to think what this was called. Shoot. Oh, Orange Swirl maybe? I'll have to check that out. It's on the inventory, so at least I know where to look. But that's that pen. I did a review on it, but it was so long ago, I almost don't like to point you toward it because I didn't know really what I was doing at all then. Okay, next is a pen called a Jaffa Scenario, and I need to try this pen. Full confession, I haven't tried this one yet. I think that might be a medium nib. Okay, it's a nice looking pen. It's got a converter on it, and this was a gift from a pen friend, a pen pal. Okay, I just haven't tried it yet. And here is a lovely, I've got 4 eyedropper pens here. This, I don't know if I can pronounce it. It's L-E-I-C-A, Leica. And it's got a beautiful Knox double broad OBB, oblique double broad nib on it. It writes like a dream. I don't normally ink it up a lot because I just don't use that much ink. I'm always changing ink all the time. And that's a lot. That's even more than these other piston fillers. I guess I'm a little nervous about filling it halfway because I don't know whether it would burp or not. Maybe it wouldn't. See, these are experiments that I need to try. But it's a gorgeous looking pen. Chinese pen, and it's just really neat. Okay, so now these two, these are the other two that are India. Well, I don't know if they're made in India, but they're definitely from Fountain Pen Revolution, and I think the name is Muft, M-U-F-T. One of them has their flex nib on it, and a pen friend sent me this one, and I haven't tried this yet. That's, you know, it's embarrassing, but I think it's good to be, you know, up front here. And then this one came free with the purchase of probably whenever I got the Jaipur, I guess. Excuse me. And that one I think had a medium nib or a fine nib. They're really neat little pens. They look really simple, but kind of remind me a little of this other one, which is a Noodler's Charlie pen, eyedropper pen. Now this one made me mad once because it definitely burped all over my paper, but I think those things happen, and it deals with how full it is and the temperature and a lot of other factors. So I got a lot to learn about how to work successfully with eyedropper pens. So just saying. Okay, then this one at the end is a Jane Davenport Ink Credible pen. I like to not abuse this pen, but yeah, I like to use a permanent ink in it. Excuse me, I got a really dry throat. And so it's kind of stained, but it only cost me about $4, and it writes really, really well. Okay, hopefully I got rid of that little dry cough. I have my water right here. We're running the air conditioner today, and it's really hot outside. It's like over 80 degrees. But these are the rest of the pens. And this cigar box here, let me get the cover for it. I wanted to show you, for those of you that didn't see it when it came in, a pen friend did this. She put on it Chris Inky Friends, and it slides on, and then she also made these little inserts to divide the pens. And so I had put these 13 pens in my craft shelf, covered and put away so the kitten wouldn't get into them, because, oh boy, everything has had to be battened down since he came in November. But my intention was to test and do reviews on these pens, or, you know, decide which ones. So let's see. I'm not completely familiar with every one of these pens. In the inventory even, I had a few holes. But this one here has markings on it, and it says right on it, Landbateau, and it says 3059, and I have two of them sent by pen friends. One is pink or peach, and one is gray, and it's a piston filler that's that looks an awful suspiciously much like a TWSBI Eco, and I had one of these, I think it's this one, inked up, and I had a little bit of nib trouble, but that, again, that was a long time ago, and I just feel like we learn little by little, and I want to revisit those because I don't want to make snap decisions on them or anything like that. So this is a Genhal, let's see, oh, I wrote this down somewhere. It's a 99 something, and it's the Swan pen instead of the Shark pen. Whoops, let's see. And it's in white. I have a red one somewhere, but I can't find it. And it's got a pilot style nib on it, and the little well, the cartridge converter is loose in there, but it's in there. There we go. So that, I'm really more familiar with the ones that have the hooded nib, but this one has the pilot style nib. And that'll be neat because then I'll get to try both. Okay, and then this one is a Genhal 911, and I don't know anything really about it except that it's got a regular converter and the hooded nib. The nib looks a little bit odd, but maybe that's how they come. Somebody that's watching may know. I think that came as part of a winnings in a drawing from Larry, but I'm not sure, so I can't be quoted on any of that for these because I got really confused there when I was getting so many pens, and I really appreciate them, but I get really confused. These two are Rotoring pens, oh, this one is not. I looked this up, and let's see. It said right on it. This is another Baoer, I think. Yeah. So you see, that's why these were segregated, because I don't know hardly anything about them, really. So I wanted to learn more and then be able to review them. So they have converters in them, and they were sent by a pen friend. I think these three were sent by the same person. Really cool. And then this is, I think, a Schaefer. Yeah, this is a little Schaefer pen with a medium nib on it. And I'm hoping this writes a lot like the ones you get like in Office Depot, because I remember that the one I had, I gave my grandson, wrote really good. I tested it out before I sent it to him. And his was a Star Wars one, so that's different. But I can't wait to try this. And then this one I know I've had inked up. This is a Daiso. It's from that company that's like a Japanese dollar store. And if I remember right, it wrote real good. And it also has a fine nib, I think, and takes those cartridges. So, like I said, I'm off on thin ice here because I think this is a 991, a Genhal. And so that missed the Genhals, just like that other little school pen, the one I just showed you. They were absent on photo day. They should have been with the Genhals, but it didn't work out that way. And this one has the pilot style nib too, and a converter. And it says, I can't even read it. I think I got out the magnifying glass to put it on the inventory, so I'll have to refer you to the inventory for that one. Okay, and then this one is one that's unbranded, but it looks an awful lot like a Lamy Safari knockoff of some kind. However, it has the pilot style nib, and it's different, but very interesting. And then here is a rainbow colored beautiful one with kind of the Lamy style nib, but if I remember right, I had this nib off and couldn't fit a Lamy nib on here. Which it's not like I have to, but that's the first thing I always check for. I think those Wing Sung piston fillers kind of spoiled me. Okay, so then last but not least are pens that I take everywhere with me, and oh boy, these are the ones that we're all familiar with, the Preppies. Particularly this one I wanted to call your attention to, because this one has been eyedroppered for a long time. I've almost used all the ink, but I can't even remember how long it's been. And that's a Caran d'Ache blue turquoise or something. And it's just a smooth writer. This was fixed for eyedroppering from the person that I got the pen from, and it's just been fantastic. And then purple one, not inked up at the moment. Blue one, almost ready for a new refill. Black one, I put the refill in there but didn't ink it up yet. Same with the red one. I mean, I've had them inked up, but not right now. And then 3 inked Pilot Petite ones, which I've reviewed and talked about these pens on my channel. And then the Atoya Blade. Now, I got one of these in the ink flight, but this one had been sent to me. So I think this is the one I sent my nephew, the one that came in the ink flight, and I have been writing with this one. And I'm wondering if this can be filled. It probably can, because now I've seen some method where you just attach a tubing and use something to put the ink in without even taking it apart. That, you know, the Pilot Varsities there. Oh, the Pilot Varsities. They missed the picture too. Oh my goodness, I gotta run and get them because I use them every day. And then this is the Wing Sung 3007, which I'm not very happy with. It's kind of a knockoff of the Kaweco Sport, and it writes really good, but when I tried to refill with another kind of ink rather than the stock cartridge that came with them, forget it. It just was real balky, so I didn't understand that. Maybe the ink in their cartridges is special. Okay, I'll be right back. There, this wouldn't be complete without talking about these, even though I've talked about them before, and they are on the inventory. They're the Pilot Varsities that I have refilled, both of them. This is the black one and the purple one. I have Noodler's Heart of Darkness in this one, and then I have Monteverde Purple Rain in this one, and it's just gorgeous. It's working really well, and I really love how that looks. So these are some that I could take anywhere, you know. But these one stays on the kitchen table with my food journal, and the other one I found back over here in my lovely pen pot that's from Rickshaw that I just absolutely love. And I had to fix it so that the cat couldn't knock it off. Oh my goodness, he's just a one-man show. So that is the video. I don't have very good visuals for the end of this, but hopefully I'll find the links I need for you. Excuse me. So I am really excited about this. It's complete. 132 pens, including, you know, the kitchen sink, everything. So there's probably going to be a stray here or there, because I kind of have this feeling like there was another, I thought that I had another one of these. But there were some new people starting, and I know I sent off some things, and so who knows. I have done my very best to inventory every pen. That needs to go back to the kitchen, and it has really been an adventure. I think I'll save my thoughts on it, though, additional thoughts for later, other than just to say that using the Google Docs is wonderful. It's easy, and it's really been good. And this whole process is just beginning now, because now I see which pens I want to try and have wanted to, and like I can be really organized better by having that inventory to refer to right at my desktop, at my fingertips. So thank you for watching this 4-part series. If you did really well if you got through all 4 parts, and thank you everyone who has contributed pens and comments and likes and been here on the channel. It's just wonderful, and it's really holding me up right now during this difficult time. So I'll see you on the next video. I'm not sure which one it'll be, because I gotta refer to my bullet journal and start getting organized for the next videos. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.